Well, there once was this father who had 234 sons, and if that wasn't enough of a hassle, all of them wanted to get married at once. And they said, Dad, Dad, go find us wives. Well, he went out into the world. He looked everywhere. He looked high. He looked low. He could not find 234 women all willing to get married at the same time. Oh boy, was he discouraged. Well, he got to the very edge of the world, and he found a tavern there, and he sat there having a cold one. And he saw in the mirror a man who looked just as discouraged as he did. And he goes, Hey, buddy, what's wrong? You look like you need a shoulder. And the guy goes, Oh, boy, I have 234 daughters, and they all want to get married at the same time. Well, the first father said, All right, do I have a proposition for you? Well, the two fathers, they settled it and they shook on it. The father of the daughters was going to pay for the weddings. And the father of the sons, he was going to build them a place to all move into. Well, the father of the sons went to the stables to get his horse. And he said to the stableman, Have you been feeding my horse? And he goes, Oh, yeah, I gave your horse 10 bales of hay. Well, have you given him any water? Ooh, no, I slipped my mind. Well, I don't have time now. I got to get home. I got news to tell my boys. I'll just water the horse on the way. So he jumped on his horse and he goes riding and riding and riding. He comes to this great, big, huge lake, and the horse is so thirsty. Sucks it all up. All that's left in that lake is some fish flopping around. And suddenly in the sky, come down a whole flock of birds, and each one of them grabs a fish, snatches it, and eats it as it flies away. Well, the father of the sons is looking up at those birds, and falling down from the sky, pop, there's a fish bone, and it lodges itself right in his eye, and he goes, Ow! Oh, dear! Oh, I don't have time to go look for it now. I'll just go home and have my sons help me. And he and the horse ride home. He says, Sons, I got good news and bad news. The good news is you're getting married, and the bad news is I got something in my eye. Well, the sons say, We'll save you, father. And they all jump into his eye, all 234 of them, and they go looking all over the place, and way up in the corner, way up under the eyelid, they find that fish bone, and they pull it out, and it is so big, why, it's big enough to carve beds out of. And the father decides he's going to carve 234 double beds for those newlywed couples. And he carves and carves and carves, and just when he's getting done with the very last one, he's so tired, he decides he's just going to take a nap, and he lies down on the last bed. Well, there was a fox, and she smelled that fish bone. Ooh, that smelled good, and she decided to chew on the corner of the bed. Well, that woke up the father, and he jumped up in the bed, and that startled the fox, and she jumped up too, and she jumped right into his beard. And he goes, Sons, I got me a fox in my beard. And they said, We'll get it out, father. And they jumped into his beard, and they searched all over the place. They searched up, they searched down, they searched around the mustache, and they finally found the fox right up in the sideburns over by his ear. And they pulled it out. Well, while she was in there, she had babies. And the father said, Well, we got something to celebrate now. Baby fox is born in my beard. Well, then they had a wedding. Oh my goodness, what a wedding it was. Well, I was there, and I had a great time, and I had this really, really tasty wine, and I got a bottle of it to bring back to share with you. But on my way here, I tripped, and I fell, and I broke it all over the place. So I don't have the wine, but I do have the story.